Before starting this video, consider joining my new Discord server and becoming a Patreon. There are definitely some really awesome people on this Discord, and we talk about new spoilers and some deck advice. We do have an awesome time on there, so come by and check it out. I do want to give a shout out to my supporters on Patreon. We do have Toadsavelt, who is a Galta tier member. So if you want to help the channel, please consider joining my Patreon. There are some great benefits for you. So with that out of the way, let's get into this week's video. So what's going on YouTube? This is Devin coming back at you with another video today on PubStomp MTG. Glad to have you here. Today I'm going to be focusing on the other Precon Starter Deck with Kardur Doomscourge. I mentioned in my other video that I'm doing a giveaway for a starter deck, and that winner is going to be announced at the end of the video. But today we're going to be going over Kardur Doomscourge and some fun add-ons you want to bring into this commander. So I'll be quite honest, I kind of overlooked this commander when looking at call time. I really liked the art on here, but I felt like, oh man, it's an uncommon, don't worry about it, it's just another random uncommon commander. But I realized how big of a powerhouse this commander really is. He essentially goads each creature when he enters the battlefield, and whenever an attacking creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. I played this commander a couple of times, and honestly, he's pretty fun for a budget. So for today's video, I'm going to kind of talk about some cards you may want to add into your new Kardur Doomscourge Precon deck. So let's first talk about some cards that you may want to put into your deck that could goad your opponent's creatures, because that's going to be the big game plan, is diverting all of the combat on other opponents instead of us. So the first card I did want to mention is Bothersome Closet. So this has menace and goaded creatures your opponent's control can't block, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, goad target creature and opponent control. So it's super easy to do. All you have to do is cast non-creature spells, and then you're goading some creatures. Say for example someone's swinging in with a Blightsteel Colossus on the table, and you want to cast a non-creature spell, you can continuously goad that Blightsteel Colossus so it doesn't touch you but it touches your opponents. I would say that's the biggest reason why I do like goad, is you can divert the attention of your opponent's creatures to somebody else. So let's talk about some other cards. Agitator Ant, a classic one. At the beginning of your end step, each player may put 2 1/1 counters on a creature they control and then goad that creature that had the counters put on that way. Then we do have Vengeful Ancestor. Whenever Vengeful Ancestor attacks or enters the battlefield, goad target creature, and when goaded target creature attacks, it deals 1 damage to its controller. And lastly, I did want to mention Life of the Party. This is definitely a fun, interesting one. It has First Strike, Trample, and Haste, and whenever it attacks, gets +X+0 until in a turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. And when it enters the battlefield, if it's not a token, each opponent creates a token that's a copy of it. And of course, the tokens are goaded for the rest of the game. I just find all these to be just great creatures overall in our deck, because we want to keep goading other people's creatures so that we can get those triggers from different effects that they do have. So what other kind of effects do we want to have on our field? Because there's going to be a lot of combat, and there's going to be a lot of different creatures blocking and defending, and a lot of creatures dying overall. Mahadi Emporium Master will give us a treasure token for each creature that died that turn. Morbid Opportunist will give us card draw when a creature dies. It only triggers once per turn, but that's okay because we'll get some card advantage just by that. And Garna Bloodfist of Keld will give us some great opportunities to get some card draw and ping our opponents whenever our attacking creatures die. So there is definitely some great utility to add into this list. I just mentioned those because those are definitely some all-stars. So let's talk about some fun creatures. I like D&D a lot. I play some campaigns with my wife sometimes here and there, with a couple of my friends as well. I did mention a couple D&D cards throughout this video, but I do want to talk about some famous creatures from D&D. Those creatures are the infamous Beholders. I added 3 into this list: Death Tyrant, Death Kiss, and Karazakar the Eye Tyrant. All 3 of these definitely push our game plan to goad everybody. I do like Death Tyrant especially. Honestly, that art is absolutely incredible. I just want to mention that first out of the gate. But whenever an attacking creature you control or a blocking creature opponent controls dies, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So this could be a great token generator for sure. With Death Kiss, whenever a creature your opponent controls attacks one of your opponents, double its power until end of turn. They'll definitely persuade people to attack other people instead of us, because, oh look, double the power of a creature. Of course, why not swing into somebody else that I want to destroy? And Karazakar, obviously, it does have that goad ability. Whenever you attack a player, you can tap a target creature and goad it. And little by little, it'll give you some card advantage as well. The Beholders definitely do have a place in this deck for goading your opponent's creatures. But let's talk about abusing our commander's ability. Because Kardur does have a ETB ability, we could abuse that by having some cards that blink him, like Conjurer's Closet and Sword of Hearth and Home. This will definitely provide us that way so that we can continuously goad our opponent's creatures, especially at the beginning of each end step of our end step with Conjurer's Closet. I do like Sword of Hearth and Home because it gives that ability to ramp us on top of blinking another creature like our commander. But why not make more of our commander with Helm of the Host? At the beginning of combat your turn, create a token that's a copy of equipped creature, except the token isn't legendary, and the token gains haste. This could make Kardur's ability extra deadly when we're gaining life and our opponents are losing life. Imagine if we have a couple Kardurs on the battlefield and our opponent's creatures are dying. So Kardur is about the life of the party. He definitely wants to make sure our opponents are swinging at each other and not attacking us. He's definitely about, oh, attack that opponent over there, don't worry about me over here, while we're plotting the death of each opponent. So before I do end the video, I do have a winner of the giveaway of the starter commander deck for the Draconic Destruction. So the winner of this giveaway is One Ringer. My friend gave me an intro deck from the Throne of Eldraine, didn't realize Korvold was so insane, still my commander, and will not apologize for it. I mean, I would disagree with you there. Korvold's pretty nuts, and I mean, I don't want to see it on the battlefield, but congratulations on winning. Thank you all so much for participating as well. I will be doing more giveaways exclusively to my Discord and Patreon, so if you want to go join there, the links to both of them are in my description of the video. So thank you guys so much for coming by and watching this video with Kardur Doomscourge and the starter deck upgrade I kind of did with this. I feel like these are some awesome cards to include into that starter deck. You could swap some cards in and out. I didn't make a full deck list in this